Something on your mind anytime. I'm here to listen. Sister Talk. When you need someone who understands, I know what you're missing. Sister Talk. No matter what you're going through, don't worry, I ain't going nowhere. Sister Talk. If you ever feel alone, say the word, I'll be right there. Sister Talk. Sister, 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 sister talk, sister, 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 sister talk, sister, 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 sister talk, sister. Ooh, sister talk.
Yes. All right, I'm ready for you all to call about Reverend CREFLO Dollar's daughter, 15-year-old daughter, calling 911. That was some serious accusation. I could not see my father personally, you know, see him take a mug shot. That would hurt me so bad.
Yeah.
You know, I've you know, have gotten disciplined before, you know, my father like that. And I'm thinking it must have been very, very serious for her to do something like that. Could have been. Part of me is thinking that, seriously. What's your take?
Look, let me take a deep breath.
Let me take one too.
First of all, just listening to the 911 call, she doesn't sound like she's afraid. She just doesn't sound like she's afraid. I have to start with, I have children. I have a grown child and I have a teenager right now, and then my baby is going to be a teenager in September. And I also need to say that I am a black mama. Okay? I know how hard I work for my children. Everything I do it for my children. I have given up so much in life for my children. An opportunity to be on the road, sing, all kind of stuff, contracts that I have turned down for my children. And I don't regret not one bit of it. Not one bit, because I did it for my children. I have these children here that I'm responsible for. And for one of my children to disrespect me, or because I understand she wanted to go to a party, he said she couldn't go, and then it escalated from that point, because that story, they not telling that story, you know. It escalated. And I know for those out there who have teenage children, that's the time where their hormones is just off the chain. You know, they feeling a little independent, you don't know nothing, all this other stuff. If one of my children were to tell me or to get smart me or disrespect me on any level, the queen that I am, and I am raising them to be kings and queens also, I will knock them out. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I said it. Look, I said it.
Okay. Caller, you watch the SISTAH Talk TV show. What do you have to say about Reverend CREFLO's Dollar's daughter? Caller?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
My TV is off.
Okay, thank you.
Good for you, caller.
Okay.
I'm calling from Harlem.
Okay.
What did he do? I mean, we saw his mug shot, and you hear the child, his daughter. She doesn't sound like there's nothing wrong. She does sound like something's up, in my opinion, for what I can hear, rather. And I just wanted to say this too. In my 50-something years of life, my mother never hit me one time. But she had believe it or not, but she had a niece that she raised along with her siblings that she raised because their mother died. And she used to beat us. She was like the disciplinarian. When she come in the room, we would salute her. We got signs together and protested her. We said, we protest seniors and pets. She thinks she's bad. I'm going to kick her in her ass. And then one night it's going to be a fight. I'm going to whoop her ass and not so light. But what she did for us, I learned to love her, and I think it helped what she did, but my mother never hit me. My whole point that I'm saying is we have to reclaim our children. When we go to these jobs and we claim we got to pay these bills and do all these other types of things with the gangs, bangers, the drug dealers, and the hoodlums are raising your children for you. So what you have to do, don't sit back and say, well, I can't hit my kids because ACS and BCW and FBI and all these people going to do this and that. You had them kids. You labored for them children. And I'm going to tell you something. If it means going to jail, you got to get into your kids. I wouldn't care how many jobs you got to work because these kids don't ask to come here. We have them. We got to take care of them or somebody will.
Okay. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for calling. What do you think, sweetie? You have children, don't you?
I surely do.
So do you agree with the caller, what the caller just said?
I had a daughter who called 911. I beat her with her own hands.
That's a first.
And when the po-po came, I said, now you can take her. So they didn't take her. They took her to the boat, and she got across, and she went with another family member, one of her cousins. And today, which is many years later, she's a real estate agent. She then took the post office because she said she needs some what do you call that? Health care.
But you know
She need a
something
job
that
with
Dr.
benefits.
Alvin Poussaint, who was the consultant for the Bill Cosby Show, said that a lot of these kids, and I'm going to say this, a lot of these children that were beaten as a child, they grow up to be adults and they say, I got beatings or have not, I'm okay, but isn't there some type of repercussion? Isn't it internal scars that come out in adulthood? Hold that question. They trying to okay. I know the emotions are coming out. I
Yes.
just want to get this phone call. We want to show
Okay.
Bounce
And I have something
TV
to say.
Yes, okay.
that we connected to the people.
Yes.
Caller, but you gotta turn your TV down, please. Caller, what do you have to say? And what's your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Hi, hello. What do you have to say? What's your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Manhattan.
Okay.
We don't know all the details of what happened.
Okay.
And as far as goes for disciplining your children, I think that a parent should have that right because you feed them like the lady said. You educate them. You do everything for them. And many incidents, as black women, you have to do it by yourself. And these things, your children have to establish and understand that they have to be some means of repercussion for their actions. And when the Lord takes it upon himself to deny you the ability not to abuse your child, but to discipline your child, then it seems to me that's an unfair law. And children learn. They're very smart. They learn that they can get away with calling the cops and having you put in jail whenever you do something to them that isn't right. And I believe not all psychiatrists say, oh, if you beat your child, it causes scars. Because there are some psychologists that say it's a minimum amount of spanking and the other things that you might use to discipline your child. I don't mean torture, but like timeout or whatever the heck they want to call it. You can help that child develop into a healthy, normal child. Because any child has to know that when they're doing things that are not that are detrimental to them and detrimental to your family, that there's repercussions.
Okay,
and when
thank
you
you.
deny that,
I want to weigh in.
Okay.
All right.
I want to weigh
have
in.
an opportunity to do anything with that child.
Okay, because we're running out of time, we have to cut the phone call short.
Sure.
Thank you for calling. Thank you.
welcome.
Kim, you're about to bust loose. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to
Let
say.
Karen go, and then I can go after Karen,
I was
because she's
just
about to
gonna
bust
say,
too.
I agree with the I agree with the call that parents should have a right to discipline their children. You know, however, my thing, what struck me when the phone call is that I sense some manipulation on the part of the child. She does sound extremely calm. She knows that her father is a high-profile minister, televangelist, quote-unquote televangelist.
Right.
You know, they've gone after him before. I think she's using this to kind of push back him up in a corner. You know, I'm going to put you out there. You know, you're going to get. It's really this young girl has a lot of issues, and that family needs to address that. You know, but airing your dirty laundry and calling the police on your dad is not the way to do that. Yes, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. If she had gone out and something had happened, they're going to hold him as the parent responsible for that.
Right.
So he had every right to say no. She's 15 years old. No, you cannot go to that party.
In defense of the 15-year-old, what she did was, believe it or not, typical, because that's what teenagers do.
That's
because
what they do.
That's what they do to get what they want, and they figure they're going to get back at you.
Yes.
You know. But what I don't like is how the media put the mugshot of this African-American man like he was this abusive man. This man is a father. You don't hear anything about him running off and doing all this stuff with other women. He has a wife. He is a family man, and he is raising a family. He is a spiritual man, you know, and you know that they come for our men in those kind of positions. So
No, I was going to say, remember, Kim, it wasn't that long ago where the senators, the Congress was going after him, demanding to see the financial statements and and that investigation led nowhere. Nothing was conclusive. They found no wrongdoing. So again, here goes the witch hunt, to try to bring down a successful black man.
Right.
That's how I see it. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna we have a video break, Ginger. No, call. Oh, we have a caller. Okay, caller. Thank you for watching SISTAH Talk TV show. Hi, how are you? What's your name?
Hey, what's up, Deetra? You know who it is. It's the hater.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, don't hate on us, okay?
Not on you guys.
Okay.
There's too many of us up here.
All right.
But I wanted to say it. I think you kind of touched on it a little bit. Is that so oftentimes, we criticize the black man for being missing in action in terms of being there for his family. And here you have a black man who's stepping up to the plate, who's there in his child's life, and who is taking a proactive role, rather, in terms of disciplining his child, and yet they're trying to bring him down for it. So, I mean, I'm not a follower of CREFLO Dollar. I'm not into the whole religious thing, but I think he should be commended for at least being there. Every time when we see a child get in trouble on television, we always see the mother. The father's never there. We always see the mother crying. Where's the father? So here you have the father. I think we should support this man and what he was trying to do, and I'll leave it on that note. Peace.
Thank you. I do want to add this. We have to close up. I want to talk to you all to see what you all doing. I do want to add that the 19-year-old is backing up her 15-year-old sister. So you have two children in the household. That's why I'm kind of ambivalent on this. Well, and also the 15. No, Kim. You know me.
Which the 19-year-old is backing.
It's backing up the 15-year-old.
So clearly, there's some issues there in that family that need to be addressed.
All families, there's issues.
Exactly.
All families.
But this is not the forum, in front of the media.
Right. This is not the way it is, and they probably, just don't like the way his parenting skills are, because 19, remember, my son, I have an adult child, he's 23, he's going to be 24. 19, that's still a fuzzy kind of stage.
Absolutely.
Phase.
Right, okay.
And if I may just say one thing, too, remember that this is a spiritual man.
Yes.
Right. So coming from that spiritual aspect, and I was just saying this morning, it's not about flesh and blood, but about principalities and forces in high places.
Say it,
now, that is, that it has to be incorporated in that situation too.
We have 1 minute. I do want to say this. When I did see that mug shot, I saw my father standing there. Now, mind you, I am ambivalent. Part of me saying that there's issues going on in that family, but part of me sees a hardworking man who loves his children and did not want his child to go out at a certain time and so forth. It reminds me of my father when I was 14, 15 years old, and I was sort of rebellious and sassy also. But my father stood his ground, did not sell me, did not give me away to my Aunt Audrey in Chicago when they were having financial problems. My aunt wanted to take care of us. He said, no, we'll starve together first, and we never did. Love you, Daddy.
Ooh,
and to all you children out there, be careful. When something happens to you, your parents are the only one that's going to be on your side.
They're going to be there.
I want to thank you, Sweet D Love, Kim LaRue, Karen Elbers. After the show, we're going to continue this. Also talk about reality TV show.
Go on. Okay.
Go on.
I wanted to give a quick shout out to my grandmama. She passed away this Monday. She was 100 years old. I love you, G. Love you, Grandma. You make me strong.
Oh, yes. Nice.
SISTAH Talk, something on your mind anytime. I'm here to listen. SISTAH Talk, when you need someone who understands, I know what you're missing. SISTAH Talk, no matter what you're going through, don't worry, I ain't going nowhere. SISTAH Talk, if you ever feel alone, say the word, I'll be right there. SISTAH Talk, sister.